is the lesson plan for our block printing class for grade 1, 2 and 3. We are going to be teaching them the concept of block printing, and they will also be practicing it in class. Along with that, we want to make it a very interactive session where the teacher is only asking questions and the children are giving the answer. So make sure the children are participating and are enjoying this question answer session. So if you go through the lesson plan, the first image or material that we are showing them is this. It is actually a piece of sari. So while we show it to the class, you can also send it across the class to the children to feel the material and understand what the design is about. And you ask them the first question as to what do you think this is. So your expected answers are cloth, sari, kapda, dress, whatever the children come up with. The next question is, what do you think, what kind of design is on it? So if you look very closely, they may say flowers, or they may say tree, or they may say leaf. Anything is acceptable. The third question is, where have you seen this kind of cloth? So here again, please let them answer and let them come up with innovative answers such as the sari, dress, mother's clothes, grandmother's nightie, anything they want to come up with. Please let this be an interactive session. Once we are done with this, we then show them a picture of a woman wearing a sari. Okay, and we ask them, is the design on the sari the same? Just like this. Is it the same? Is the shape on the sari getting repeated? Now repeated, if you say, is same on each of the examples that we've given. The answer should be yes. And then you ask them, how do you think they made the same design again and again and again? How was it repeated? This is where we introduce them to the block and teach them the word block printing. Okay? So once we teach them this, you can send a block across for the children to feel, touch it, understand it. And the last picture is an example of what block printing looks like. Once we are done with this, we will then tell them and increase the excitement of the class by telling them that we're going to be doing this today. We're going to be doing block printing in class today. And then certain structures have to be set. Divide your class into 6 or 7 children per group, depending on what is the strength of your class. If you fall short of blocks or papers, please accommodate the children within the groups already formed. Once this is done, we have with us a tray, a Scotch-Brite, a spoon and an ice cream stick. Each group will get one tray, one Scotch-Brite and one ice cream sticks. The facilitator will then go across all the groups with the die. Please watch the process carefully. This is the die which has pre-mixed color. You do not require too much, but remember it has to be evenly distributed. So with my spoon, only one person in the class will be doing this, one facilitator, mentor or teacher. You will place your die. The spoon is just to pour it onto the Scotch-Brite, and with your ice cream stick, you will evenly distribute it. Please make sure that the distribution process is structured in the sense if the die on the child's Scotch-Brite gets over or the group Scotch-Brite gets over, they should be patiently asking for it and the class should not be chaotic. Newspapers are compulsory. Next week we are going to be doing the same activity on cloth and the furniture of the classroom will get spoiled. So please make sure that the activity only gets conducted when each desk has a newspaper. I have excess of it. I put it back. Now, once this is done, the 6 or 7 children you have in the group will all get a turn. So you can make children you can make one child just do one line, then the other does the other line, then the third child does the third line. Make sure they're working in a team and they're participating and they're helping each other. The other children of the group should not get distracted or should not start making noise when one child is working. This is how we want to teach them teamwork, that everybody helps that one individual who is doing it. So now I'm going to take my block, and this is how you teach the children. Press and stamp. Let's have this when the children do it. So they say, you say press, new word for them, press and stamp. You have to give it a little pressure. Press and stamp. Press and stamp. Please make sure they do it in a straight line and they give it pressure. So one child can be doing one line, the second child will be doing the second line. Make sure that the color is evenly distributed so that the entire block, surface area of the block, gets covered. Again, press and stamp, press and stamp, press and stamp. So press and stamp. Please make sure that the children, once they finish the entire activity and every child gets a chance to do it, they clean everything with water. Everything must be washed, as the same material needs to be used next week for the class, which will then be done on paper, on cloth. This is just the first time we're teaching them how to do block prints, so it will be done on paper. This is their practice class that we are having. Once we are done with all of this, please make sure that the child the entire group writes their name, class, division, roll number and school name at the back of the paper, and let the paint, the dye dry completely. Use this to put in the class if you want to use it as decorations. After we have finished with the explanation of how the block printing needs to be done, values need to be taught and reinforced in the class. So the two values we are working with this time is teamwork. So you will teach the children what teamwork is with the action. Teamwork. So you teach them how teamwork looks in class, or what it looks like. That is, you will help your team press and stamp. You will help them do it in a straight line. You will not fight, you will not argue, you will not complain. You have to make sure that your entire team finishes this in the whole block printing on this paper. The next value we're going to be doing is sharing. Please make sure you teach it along with the actions. Sharing, you're going to be sharing the paper, you're going to be sharing each and every material that has been provided by Saturday art class, and that needs to be taught to them without any complaints or without any arguments or fights that need to take place. It takes some time to dry. Once this is done, stick it in the class and make sure that we are going to be telling the children that this is going to be done even next time, and that too on cloth. So they all must be present for next time's class. Thank you.